Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, Davey.
Hello, Peter, and happy Easter to you.
Oh, yes. Did the Easter Bunny come?
No.
They're a bit unreliable, the old Easter Bunnies, I think. They're not.
He's no Santa, is he? He's no Santa.
No, he doesn't quite come up to scratch at all. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Really looking forward to having a great wee show on tonight. Nice to see so many folk joining us already, but please share about for us, folks. Hit the share button and let everybody know. We're going to have a great wee night. We've got one guest on tonight with us, a very special guest. We've got Andy Kain on with the fiddle, and I know Andy very well, so I'm going to leave the difficult questions to Davey to ask. That'll be fine. So, but please share about, folks. That'd be wonderful if you could. It's always magic. What have you been up to this week?
Not a lot, to be honest. Working.
No.
Off tomorrow though. Got public holiday, so I'm off tomorrow.
Fantastic. We've actually had a couple of weeks has went by very quickly. It's back to work on Tuesday. Well, Monday. Shame. Back to work tomorrow, actually. So there we go. So, but yeah, really looking forward to tonight. It was a really nice show last week. Fair enjoyed it, and this is Easter weekend, so. We've had 2 gigs on this weekend, so that's been really nice. It's been fine to be playing at things again, and we've played at a Haim fair in last week, and it's all go, so it's fine, you know, which is great. So, a wee set of tunes for you tonight. Now, Andy Kain usually plays fiddle with us all the time, but last night he wasn't with us because he was away south. We'll ask him about that. He was playing at something else somewhere. Doing truth.
Are you sure?
Well, either that or he just didn't want to play with us anymore. I don't know, but
I'm sure I can see. I'm sure I can see him in this video.
Yeah. Do you know something as well? You thought you could see him? Where? Yeah.
Is that like
hiding behind the stool? We couldn't get one of the big bar stools. We usually get one of the big tall bar stools for him, but that was anyway. Right, but the thing is that no, he was genuinely away last night. But the really nice thing, we're coming down to do a tour in October now as well. We've got 5 or 6 gigs, so we're coming down to play. Really
where are you going?
Where are we going? We are playing for Andy's dad. We'll ask him about that when he comes on. Actually, it's to do with Aberdeen Supporters Charitable Organisation or something. And hi, Derek Owen. Yeah, mind and keep the comments coming in as well, folks. We love to see where the comments are. We love to see where you are. Then the next
Vies and Fraserburgh.
Vies and Fraserburgh, but we're going to go and play for Vi in Milnathort on the Sunday afternoon when we're down in October.
So your January gigs moved to October?
Basically, yeah. But we're doing Inverness Accordion Club, which is a Highland Accordion Fiddle Club. And we're doing Wick Accordion and Fiddle Club when we're doing as well. And hopefully we'll do a wee broadcast for the BBC in the middle of it all and take it for there.
The Barnhill Bowling Club?
What?
The Barnhill Bowling Club, BBC.
Barnhill? No.
Speaking of which, before we go any further, can folks stop messaging me about the Travelling Folk gig? I've not been asked yet. You know, Bruce has been great. He's obviously leaving after, I think, 14 years, but they've not asked me yet, so please stop asking. Unless you're the BBC, then please start asking.
You never told me somebody had been asking.
Can't get up with any work done. There's not that many folk asking.
Well, I've never had one snitch of an email asking if I would be interested in the job or not. So, do you have to speak Gaelic for that job?
No, but I think you need to know about music. That's me, Skipper.
That's that. Right, listen. Last night we had Brian Nicholson on guitar, Graham Jameson on the drums, and myself. And here is that good old Scottish standard for you tonight, folks. It's Fly Me to Dunoon.
Wrong one. Ah.
wee quick step there last night. Did you see Andy at the back there behind him?
Yeah, he's,
Yeah.
he could have stood up though.
Yeah, oh well. Anyway, folks, and also remember, please keep joining in, sharing. We're on about 3 or 4 Facebook pages tonight. We're on Twitter and we're on YouTube. All live. Wonder if Andy's remembered to tell his mum and dad that he was on tonight. Andy, if you're watching, remember and share this on your own page as well at the same time.
Speaking of
all his fans watching.
Speaking of sharing, just a reminder that we do have the silent auction still in progress.
I was going to say, yeah.
I have now pinned the video to the top of the Facebook page. So if you go to our Facebook page, it's the top video. It's the one that doesn't have tartan behind it.
Right.
Have a listen, and if you do have the ability to bid, then please do so. It is for a great cause.
We've got some really good bids in already for the tunes.
Yes, we do.
We're up at quite a lot of money. And all the funds, remember folks, it's not us that's making the money, it's the charity. And it's it's Nine Wells Hospital, the departments went right up my head.
The neonatal unit.
Neonatal unit, yeah. And we're trying to raise as much money as we possibly can for them. So please keep sharing. Hello, Marion. Hello, Eleanor. We've got all these people joining us. Keep the comments coming on, folks. And when we bring our guests, hi Dave, and when we bring our guest on, if you want to ask him any really, really awkward questions, that's perfectly acceptable as well. Because that's what we do, you know.
We have no issues with that.
We try to make it as easy for the guests as possible, don't we? Yeah.
The one thing I have noticed is Ronnie Kane's here.
Ah, there we are. That's Andy's dad.
Fine,
it says we are here, so I think Mum's there, so it's good. How's about we bring him? I'll tell you what, actually, let's play a track. Here's a track that Andy and me recorded the other day, and then we'll bring him on straight after it. This is 2 Shetland marches, the Headlands and the Geysers March, and we've done this bottom of the Garden in my house, just basically down at the sea, to see how it sounded. So, do
you own the sea as well then?
No, I don't own very much. The bank owns most of it.
So you're not Peter Poseidon, no?
It's certainly not.
No.
Okay, here's the Headlands and the Geysers. Andy Kain, our guest tonight, ladies and gentlemen, playing the fiddle, and we'll bring them on straight after this. And we've got a lot of variants and videos for you tonight. There's quite a few variations coming up and talking about what Andy does for his job and career and things. And it's going to be great fun. So here's a couple of tunes to get you in the mood. Share about. Hello, Andy.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are you doing?
How are you?
This is going to be a long hour and a half, I tell you. How's Abby?
I wish you'd done this out to be a short hour and a half.
Get it on the new. Get it on the new.
How are you getting on?
Yeah, good. Thank you. Good.
Doing fine. You were in the West last night. Where were you at last night?
I was playing a wedding in Edinburgh. It's an old church called the Mansfield Craic. Lovely venue.
All right.
So it was fine. So it's been a bit of a long day. No much sleep. It's been good.
Oh, diddums.
Tell you.
Well, because you ended up back, you flew back up to Shetland today, and then you
morning,
were teaching, and then you popped by me to record some more tunes, which we're going to hear some pieces in a wee while. So, oh my goodness, there's somebody in Virginia there.
Virginia.
And he's real.
Thank you for having me on again, chaps.
Well, listen, the reason we've got you back on, it's a long time since you were on, actually. You were one of the early guests of Tartan Tunes in the days before we got technically a bit better at the whole thing.
Is that back when you were scraping the barrel, Peter?
What's that?
Peter, have you got an off button for him?
There's an off button. But you were kind of right away at the beginning, and we used to do things like play live, and then we found out that they work very well and things in videos.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's nice to get you back on to let folk hear it properly.
Thank you.
Which is really good. And we've all been stuck the last 2 years. It's been because you were on about the early lockdowns.
That's right.
So it's been a long time since we've passed that, but fortunately we seem to be getting past that a bit now, and we seem to be getting a gig come in the door again, which is absolutely fine. See, there's Mary in California. Happy Easter, Mary. Remember, if you've got any questions for Andy or anything like that, we find Andy, you're up in Shetland now, and you're married, and you've got 3 children up here.
Peter's account though, he's like,
to think about that, well, you've got the 2 lasses, the 2 new girls.
Yeah, didn't get me into trouble. No.
And you've got Richie to look after to keep you going as well.
I think Richie looks after me more than that.
Okay, well that's fine.
So
but you've been up here. How long have you been in Shetland now? You've been.
It's just what's that? Coming up, it was 6 years now, is it?
Yeah, there you go. See,
so
time goes by quickly, and you've been building up a nice reputation with the violin school, which we'll speak about as we go on through the night.
Yeah, no problem.
What you enjoy about teaching, etc. But one wee tune here, we recorded this. This is fresh off the press about two hours ago, and he's been home for his tea, and that's it. So,
and change his shirt.
Change my shirt.
Change his shirt. I haven't changed my shirt. You'll notice that, folks. You'll recognise me because I've got the same shirt on. But I'm playing the piano this time.
Yeah.
This is a wee tune you wanted to record for a special reason. That's Wonderful World, which is about.
Sorry.
Wonderful world. We can only but hope these days it is going to be a wonderful world because
No, my wee one, my 3-year-old Elia, she's got a book, and it's got Bonnie pictures, and it's got all the lyrics of the tune, the song in it. And it's one every night before she goes to bed. We normally read it, and she knows it word perfect, and she can sing it. And so I thought it'd be nice to record it for her. So if she's watching, I'm not sure if she'll be in bed yet, but if she's watching, we can get this later on and show her it. So.
And honestly, ladies and gentlemen, we this was the first take of every one that we did.
What you mean is the first take that you did correctly.
Yeah. So anyway, here is Wonderful World.
There we go.
Very nice. Did you see all these women? Did you see all these women saying "lovely"? There, lovely. I think they were talking about the tune, by the way.
There was,
Yeah.
oh, wasn't it? Oh, I thought they were calling me beautiful. All right. Okay.
Like the ears, Davey.
Happy Easter, Davey. Yeah.
Had it last year as well.
Nah, it's a bonny tune. I like that tune.
Is that a Dundee Rabbit's Lugs?
A rabbit.
A rabbit.
A rabbit.
Really bonny tune. Something that you've. It's really interesting watching you, and I mean we play together a lot, and we see things that you're doing musically, etc. But lots of people out there don't.
No.
And quite often with youth music groups, etc., and that you do alternate stuff. You're not just doing Scottish all the time. You try to shift it about a bit, don't you?
Yeah, that's right. Aye. Just try and get. Well, I mean, they do all the trading stuff as well, but just try and get all different genres of music.
Yeah.
We're doing Monty Zardas at the minute, and I've got an arrangement with Orange Blossom Special and stuff like that with the Bairns, and they were getting me doing kind of pop stuff as well. And one of them's asked for ABBA that I'm trying to put off at the minute. I've not quite got into that yet, but we'll get there.
We used to do ABBA as part of the Gay Gordons medley.
Oh yeah.
David Cormack says he couldn't see the piano player's hands. You could hardly see the piano for the size of me sitting in front of you. Never mind me hands.
David, you can tell he was there because he's wearing the same shirt.
Same shirt.
Same camera as well.
But right, so teaching, do you think it's quite important for them to learn that classical rudiments and things, etc.?
Yeah, I always, from my background is classical anyway, so I always give them that background to begin with and learning for as young age as you possibly can, and it just stands them kind of a lot better stead later on down the line. So obviously, reading music, theory of music, and this, that, and the next thing, and then you can branch off to wherever they want to go after that.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
So I'm assuming, Andy, that you used when you're in. Did you play in orchestras previously as well?
Yes.
Classical.
Yeah.
So did you sit closest to the stage just so they look bigger?
I knew that was coming.
Hello, are you there? Hello. Hello. Thanks, boys. Bye. Yeah.
Sorry.
That's all right. I don't. Sorry.
But,
no.
You did play in orchestras and stuff like that, though, didn't
you? Yeah. I grew up through. Well, I got lessons from the school, and then grew up through Aberdeen Music Centre, and Saturday morning orchestras religiously for, goodness knows how many years. But it was just it was the best days ever. It really was.
So was the Aberdeen Music School the Aberdeen Music School after your time or same as your time?
No, that was after my time.
Was after your time?
Yeah. I taught. When I got my qualification, that I taught in Aberdeen City for a few years before I moved to the Shire, and one of my schools was Dice Academy.
Right, okay.
At the time, and all the Feeder Primary is where the Aberdeen Music School is now. But that was just starting as I left from teaching.
Okay, I get you. Yeah,
so it was a few years ago now.
Your dad's asking why you changed your shirt.
Sauce.
Because of the shirt I had on that last recording about a couple of years ago would have been the same shirt as a new. See?
All right.
Right.
It's all right, Ronnie. I've only got one shirt.
Oh, Davey, help me.
But no, so it was Aberdeen. So it was the music school in the mornings, and then Aberdeen football in the afternoons. Then
for me.
Yeah, well, you weren't into the football so much.
No, I wasn't. No, I'm not really a football man.
But your dad was.
Dad's kind of followed it. Since he retired, he's got his season ticket. He's never left the place.
Yeah, and then that let's just mention when we're doing the October tour, we're doing a night for your dad, and that's. We are. Can you tell us what that is for?
Dad's heavily involved with it now. It's the AFCCT. It's Aberdeen Football Club Community Trust.
Right.
It's just charity, and they help out just Alex of things. So we're just doing a fundraiser for everything we're doing.
So we're done with the whole band for that, folks. So if
That's
we happen
right.
to be in Aberdeen, I can't mind what day that is now, but we'll be advertising.
Yeah.
We'll be advertising it. So about the middle weekend of October.
15th October, wasn't it? No.
There you go. Aye.
Yes.
Right.
15th October. So tickets will be on sale. So if you're looking for any tickets, give me a shout. That'll be grand.
And where is it at though? It's at the boat.
It's
Golf Club.
Dad, help us out. It's the Caledonian Golf Club down the beach, doing the Aberdeen Links. And Peter will change his shirt for that night.
And there is a lady called Frida Belfort saying she would totally agree that Aberdeen Music Centre on Saturday morning was great.
Yep.
Hi, Frida. And there's Tracy Elliott joining us tonight as well. I've not seen Tracy in this show very much. So, brilliant. Right, listen, let's have another wee set of tunes here. This is you actually working with your pupils. Now, this is done at Kirriemuir Festival, I think.
This was one of the last festivals that we did before the COVID. And it'll be, I think, was it just over 3 years ago, before they all kind of knocked the gatherings on the head. So this was one of the fiddle groups that we played, and we won this one, I think. Yeah, we did.
Oh.
So it was good.
Can you mind any of the tunes?
Pass.
Who wrote that?
How do you think the Bairns really enjoyed the stuff like this?
Yeah, very much so. I think for all the places that I've taught all over the place up here, it's such a privilege to teach. The Bairns are super, and they'll give you everything. It's just ace. If you go here, there, or concerts, whatever, they'll never say no.
Yeah.
It's just brilliant, it really is.
So this is a medley.
Pleasure to work with.
That you played, and is this high level orchestra?
This was a high level orchestra, yeah.
Brilliant. Here's high level orchestra in Kerry.
Brilliant. I could listen to that all day. Just super.
It's fabulous. It's fabulous playing. And are these arrangements, the harmonies and all that, are you doing all that stuff yourself?
I didn't do that one, but a lot of them we do ourselves.
Aye.
Yeah.
It's interesting because, of course, the tunes there was Margaret Ann Robertson with Frank Jones and a Shetland tune.
Mm-hmm.
And then you went into Edgefield House.
Yeah.
The Scott Skinner tune. And quite interestingly so, and you'll probably appreciate this more than other people, I think Scott Skinner was actually very classically based as well, to be honest. A lot of his stuff was classical structures.
That's right. Yeah, very much so.
And when there's Fiona Paul saying, my favourite wee Aberdonian fiddler.
Stop with the wee. Hi, Fiona. I'm going to start taking this hair shortly.
No. But the thing
so what you're saying is I shouldn't make the next comment, no?
No, forget about the next one.
Yeah, leave that one there.
Davey, remember, we have just got one guest tonight. If he leaves, we're coming up a gum to you.
Nah, fixed.
But quite interestingly, and in that arrangement, it was almost like classical arranging, almost like the harmony, etc.
That's right.
You can hear how Skinner's tunes lended themselves to that.
Yeah.
And because I think he was probably way in front of his time composing Scottish stuff when he was there.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, he was very, very prominent player. Very prominent player. If you listen to his early recordings, just ace.
It's amazing because he left quite a legacy, really. When you think when he was about kind of style thing.
Yeah.
But, as Davey said along the bottom there, please.
Right. Thanks, Stephen. Yeah.
Oh my goodness sake, it's getting in trouble.
Before we start it.
So, but up here, obviously now you've got the Andy Kain Violin School.
Mm-hmm.
Great name.
You're teaching. Have you got a lot of pupils every week? How many pupils?
Yeah, I've got about 60.
Yeah, it's great.
60 a week, so it's plenty.
Yeah.
So it's good, and the range for all ages. For my youngest is 5, and I'll not say what's my oldest one, but it's like in the 70s.
Vi says good things come in wee parcels.
Thanks, Vi.
Well, the rest sticking up for him now, David.
That's it.
The tides have turned. But no, it's interesting when you say so what you were a classical background. When did you get interested in the Scottish stuff then?
Classically taught. I started lessons it was through the school service when I was 5-6 year old, and then I got in touch with the Aberdeen Spey and Reel Society when I was must have been about 10, I think it was 10, 11, and then started playing. But my fiddle teacher, Mr. Bolton, didn't like traditional music, and it was very, very classical, very classical. And then, because I'm starting playing my pieces and I'm starting putting in little wee grace notes here and this here that I was doing with like the traditional stuff. And he knew fine, but he never told me for ages. And then just one day it was like, so Andy, how long have you been playing the traditional stuff for? I don't play traditional stuff. And I was like, oh yes, you do. So it was fine. So no, but keeping both going. It's fine. I probably should do more classical playing than I do, but it's just the band. Obviously, with the band work by yourself, it's just that's fine. But it's good. But I'd love to get back into like an orchestra situation.
Yeah,
I know they've got the community orchestra and that up here, so we'll need to get stuck into that. And
I don't think that an accordion's allowed in community orchestras.
Accordion shouldn't be allowed anywhere.
Is that not part of the Geneva Convention?
Could be.
Accordions and banjos.
I thought
Sorry.
Go on, Davey, you were going to ask something about that.
I was going to say, do you think that a lot of the traditional composers of old, like Scott Skinner, because there wasn't as much traditional music being written, it was kind of all the oral tradition. Do you think that their classic background helped to write more interesting tunes than the Porsche and things like that?
I would think so. Yeah, I think it would certainly give them the good stead to do stuff like that. Yeah, I would think so. Yeah.
We've got another wee track on the turntable here. Oh, Charles Ducat. He's asking that famous question.
Well, Charles, as far as the instrument concerned, there's no difference.
Is it not? Does the fiddle no burn quicker than the violin?
Then I get viola started in there. No, fiddle tends to lend itself towards the trad stuff and violins, classical stuff. But as far as the instrument goes, it's exactly the same.
Yeah.
But you don't see very many folk playing the high level on a Stradivarius.
No.
Our next wee track on the turntable for all these good folks out here tonight. Now, you're getting the same kind of idea as me. You're seeing youngsters starting and they develop and they progress through their musical careers. And the ones that stick it and they go on. And then this next track we're going to go, it was something you asked me to come to one night. You'd taken on a session in one of the local pubs, in the Marlick's pub in Shetland. But some of your pupils were old enough then now to come in and have a tune.
That's right.
That must be great fun as well when you see them growing up, that they can actually come out and socialise with things.
Before you go any further, did you know that if you contact your local council and advise them that there is traditional music, you can have a bylaw created for the kids to play regardless of their age?
Yeah, I think
that does work up here. Yeah,
there is something like that up here.
Yeah.
So
we've got
so
that.
they've got to be out by a certain time or something like that. But no, it does work up here as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is a wee set. We recorded it just for fun when we were there, and I think this is great because it gives us the real atmosphere, a kind of wee Shetland session, and let's folk all over the world. Mind, folks, if you're in different countries all over the world, let us know where you are and see what you think of this. Do you play mandolin or banjo?
No, really. We can get a tune out of mandolin. No, the banjo. Can all fiddle players? What's that?
Climb ship, mast.
If I was to climb a mast, the boat would probably keel out.
I don't fancy that. Anyway, here, this was the Marlicks, the Douglas Arms, and a Tuesday night through the summer, wee sessions. Andy put word out, and a lot of your pupils come in, and we had a wee tune.
They did.
I think this is a wee set of Ronnie Cooper reels, if I mind right.
Yeah.
So enjoy, folks. This will make your feet tap.
Yeah. It's quite funny,
It's
mate.
great that, though, isn't it? When we hear other youngins playing and just joining and having a tune, I think that's so great fun. And
yeah,
we had two or three nights with the guys, and they're all just, it really brings them out their shell. And
that's right.
It's that old thing about music when it's not just music, is it? It's about brings everyone.
Just a huge big family. I mean, it's what I was thinking about earlier, watching the videos and the competitions and that. You've been working with the Bairns since they're like 11, 12 years old, and they're now at that stage. You know, they're all turning 18. They're all heading off to university and stuff like that. And albeit we've got the younger ones to come up, but it's just there's such a good group of Bairns, and they get on so well together. I mean, like all the trips we've had south and that, there's never a bad word, and they all look out for one another, and they're just super. They really are. And 99.9% of the time they enjoy playing when I'm not shouting at them. So it's good.
It's great. So, are you managing to get the group together much at all just now, then, or has it been slightly limited because of the?
No, we have been, because there's a couple of concerts starting to kick off again now. So I've had them in here on like a Sunday afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
But the last one we were doing was cancelled because there was a few outbreaks of COVID within the folk it was playing and bits and bobs. So that's moved to May. So we'll get them back in again now that holidays is finished. And but it's good because we were saying we didn't really have a regular thing. We would work for events coming up and stuff like that. But it was going so well. We're going to start doing it like every second Sunday, and take it from there. Just while they're all still here and before they go to university and stuff like that. So they're good. Yeah.
You used to, at one point in time, you taught for, was it Aberdeenshire Council you taught for as well, though?
Yeah, I taught both. I taught Aberdeen and Aberdeenshire Council,
Yeah, and then now obviously you're doing a private tuition yourself, and and you fairly like that because it gives you the flexibility to do what you want.
Yeah, it's far better. I mean, I love the job, but I love being my own boss as well. And as you say, you know, you can.
You're not your own boss. Come on, you're not your own boss.
No, that's the wife. That's the wife. That's the wife. But no, it's good because you can work around things if need be. So yeah.
Well, we can, because there's 2 or 3 things, isn't there, this year? I mean, we're going down with the band to Orkney Folk Festival.
That's right.
And then you and me have been asked to go and play at Keith
Festival. We're going to the Keith Festival. Yep.
And then you're working on a wee plan just now. What in October we're going to do?
Oh, October. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, it's all right. I wasn't going to say anything about the other one.
No, that's all right. Yeah.
I was waiting for him to say. I wasn't going to say anything about such and such. I just did.
Yeah.
You know, I need it. But let's say we're working on 2 or 3 things actually.
There's a few things in the pipeline.
So, and to have the flexibility, you can go and do these things if it comes along, kind of stuff.
That's right. And
I'm reasonably lucky with school holidays because I get kind of holidays up. So
what we've got coming up next week as well, we've got Young Fiddler coming up next Friday.
Yeah, that's right.
Young Fiddler of the Year, so that's a big event in the old fiddling calendar up here.
Yeah.
So the Bairns have been working hard to that, so that'll be good.
Tell folks worldwide how that works. Actually, it's Young Fiddler of the Year they call it, and it's a Shetland competition.
That's right. There's two parts of the competition. There's different age groups. So they've got the junior young fiddler, which was it primary? No, I always get this wrong. Primary up to primary 6. and then intermediates like primary 7 to first year, and then seniors from there on.
Yeah.
And they go and play two sets of music. The first one is by any Shetland composer, either living on the island or away from the island, whatever. And as they go on, so the sort of younger ones play one tune. The intermediates will play a waltz and a faster tune, and then the seniors play like a slow tune and 2 faster tunes. So that's for the young fiddler section. Then there's a traditional section. So obviously traditional is where you don't know the composer of the tune, so it's going that far back. It's just been,
to be fair, a lot of tunes Peter plays, he calls them traditional, but they've actually got composers that are still alive.
We just know what they are. So they do that. So they've got the 2 sections, and then obviously that the points are tallied, and then you'll get your winners from there.
Yeah, it's great.
So it's good. There's three adjudicators come up for it. And
who are it this year?
Is it John Robert DL?
Yeah, and
Stella Wilkie.
Stella.
And
I can't remember who's on.
Why did you ask me that?
Jenna Reid.
Jenna Reid, that's it.
Jenna Reid. Yeah, that's right.
Sorry, Jenna.
I'd only seen that. I'd just seen that advertised last week, and I couldn't remember either.
Yeah.
And Stella's down about Davies way. Is she not down about Dundee way or somewhere as well?
She's about that here somewhere.
She used to be anyway. They were the original band. Remember when they all started together? The Craic,
yeah.
Dance band, and she was on.
So it's a fine selection of adjudicators. So you get a really spectrum of crits for the bell. So it's good.
Good. That's brilliant. Well, all the best with that one. That'll be good. It's some amount of fiddlers through the 3 days. You probably got a couple of 100 fiddle players going to turn up.
Aye. I think again with the COVID, this is probably one of their bigger entries. I think there's about 110 entries over the 2 days.
That's brilliant. But you know the thing, and I feel sorry for a lot of the youngsters just now. It's incredibly difficult at the best of times to go out on stage and play. For these poor guys just now, they've not had the chance to do it for 2 years at all.
That's right.
And all of a sudden, and I've noticed even we had a wee concert just for the primary school kids, and their pals were the audience, and it was really hard for them because they were so out of the way of doing these kind of things. You know?
Yeah, that's it.
So it's nice to see that going back in again.
And a lot of them as well. A lot of my younger people. So this is their first time actually doing it. And when you go and stand at the Mariel on the stage, I mean it's a huge stage.
Yeah.
All these folk in front of them, and it's the traditional one.
Davey, I saw him smiling.
Davey, I'll line them up, Davey. You just knock them down.
Davey, it's not that big a stage for I'm on it.
So it's like what we do is the young fiddler selection will get piano accompaniment, and then the traditional one will just play unaccompanied. So if you're getting a wee 5-year-old, 6-year-old toot standing on the stage themselves playing, you know, it takes a bit of bottle.
Absolutely.
Yeah. As you say, because it's not been done for a couple of years, you know, it's just slowly getting back into it.
And hopefully it will get there. Yeah, let's have a wee track. This is one of the tracks we recorded earlier on, and I meant to write in what these were called, Davey. Sorry, but it's just called Andy 2. But Andy 2. This is a 2-step, and this is, I'm sure it is. If it's not, we'll haul it off and I'll put it back on again.
Oh, that's your 2-step.
I think so. I think that's what's going on.
This was one of my adult people's. Doreen asked me to play this because she likes the tune.
Yeah, and the tune was actually I was commissioned to write the tune. It's called Erty Quarf, and Quarf, of course, is a how do we say it? A hamlet village. I don't know what Quarf is. You just kind of drive through Quarf, didn't you?
Yeah, just a little wee place. It's like a little wee. Everything's a little wee up here.
But it was a tune for Erty Davidson. Erty played the 5-row button box for years, and he used to go out and play at dances and all that. And there's not that many 5-row button box players in Shetland, really, to be honest. It was mostly piano. So this was for his daughter wanted a tune written for him. So this was Ertie Davidson the Clough. So hopefully that's what it's going to be. If not, it's the other one.
We'll check back afterwards to make sure.
Yeah.
Rory, this might be for you and it might not be.
Here we go.
Well,
Angus is giving me a loan of his one.
that's a nice tune, that, Peter. That's good, that.
You like the hat? I think we should all get these.
I'm feeling left out now. Maybe tell me about the hats this year. This weekend.
Alan Monroe was saying they're sweet sounding fiddle, Andy.
Thank you, Alan.
Think you can tell folk about that fiddle?
That's
What
right.
is that fiddle?
It's my Ewan Thompson fiddle.
Yeah.
Charnowick up here.
Yeah.
So when did I get it? Was it August last year?
Ewan was originally for Fair Isle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then moved over here to Shandrick.
So yeah.
Shandrick.
He's got quite a waiting list. He's very, very popular. He's got quite a waiting list for new fiddles being made. So I think I took him about 3.5 years. I think I waited for it.
Yeah.
So.
And how does that work on your tax, Andy? Does it come off when you get it or when you start ordering it? Is it which side does it work on?
It will just spud it up.
Base.
See if I get a phone call in the morning, you're in trouble.
You know, there's Ewan Thompson's fiddles played by a lot of classical musicians now as well, actually.
That's right.
But also people like Chris Stewart and all these guys have all got them. And I think Kevin Henderson's got one as well, hasn't he?
That's right, yeah.
So
Christy's got a viola from as well.
Viola, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know you said that the physical instrument's exactly the same, but the more modern, I'll call them luthiers as such, that are making for fiddle music, do they make anything slightly different, or just exactly the same as what would be for a classical design?
It can depend. Like the height of the bridge and things like that. So the playing action, it all depends, because I like mine slightly lower action, and you can. God,
Yeah.
you want to just switch them off, Peter?
Yeah.
It just
But
kind
I
of playing
didn't-
faster stuff and things like that as well. So I mean, it's physically the instruments very much the same. It's just your
Yeah.
own personal preference of the setup of it.
'cause I didn't realize until fairly recently, when I was reading about it, that Stradivarius and instruments made at that point in time, they actually had a longer fingerboard on them, didn't they?
Mhm.
And they were shortened
Yeah,
over time. So the instrument was initially made with a long fingerboard,
yeah.
then shortened. So that was bound to affect the tone of these instruments as
That
well.
was for like folk with me with short arms and legs, because we couldn't
Yeah.
reach the end.
But I always thought, you know how they're always trying to make a copy of a say, a Strad?
Yeah.
Well, you would have to make that original long way, surely first, and then leave it for 100 years, then shorten it to even think you can get it
Aye.
close to it.
So is that to do with the kind of the standard tuning in the day? Because obviously the modern pitch is 440, but not something like 436 back then.
I think it was slightly higher. Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously you're just playing about with the string length. That's it, just the stopping distance of the string.
Yeah.
Quite interesting. Very interesting.
So
And different. You've enjoyed playing in bands as well, and you're playing with my band up here just now all the time as well.
mhm.
But you've played with quite a few bands, and you had your own band on the go at one time as well, didn't you?
started off in Aberdeen. I actually first started off. Got into the traditional music through the Australian Real Society, and then there was the school band. My craft and design teacher, Charlie Loy, for Aberdeen, played the accordion, and then it was like Gordon Midler, Brian, his brother, myself, and we all got kind of sort of band up and running. And then one of my music teachers was Aileen Hunter, and that was Alistair Hunter's daughter.
Oh yes, right.
So we got a tune. Obviously, Aileen was playing piano and bits and bobs, and so we kind of tunes with them. And then I got a couple of gigs with Alistair.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just kind of led from there, and then started up my own band. Oh no, I first started playing with Charlie Todd actually.
Right.
And then I was still
as did I.
Yeah.
35 years ago, Charlie was a huge help to me in my career.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the amount of music that he gave you was just incredible.
Yeah.
And so we started playing with Charlie, but that's when I was still up in Aberdeen, and that's when it was busy. It was like 6-7 days, nights a week stuff. So it was like, you go up to your work, drive down to Lanarkshire, do the gig, drive back, do your work, drive back, and that was like 6-7 days a week. It was just crazy. So that's when we ended up moving to Lanarkshire. And then started up kind of my own band off of that, and that was great. It was super, and it was really busy, lot of gigs. And then where did I go from there?
You done a couple of albums with that band.
Newcastle. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Do you still have any of these albums? Can folk buy them? Or?
Not available. No, I've not got any.
No.
Kind of print it off. I maybe should, but yeah. Aye, no, I did two albums. What was the first one? There was Tuned In was the first album, and Twist and Tradition was the second one.
Right.
So yeah, they sell well. But I just never got the big printer again when I got. And then I get down to where I go. I get there to Newcastle, start playing with Robert Whitehead, and we were all the country with Robert, and then moved up here. So it's been good.
That was it. Robert's a great guy, and we're getting a tune with him when we go to Keith, aren't we? We're getting to play with him that night at the dance on Friday night.
I don't know if they know about that yet either, Peter.
Well, somebody asked me if it was all right. It wasn't you, so I can't remember.
Aye, no, that's fine. No, if we get there in plenty of time, we'll get a tune with him. And,
that's right. That's the idea.
Friday, yeah.
Smashing guy, Robert.
So Andy, when you went to Shetland, were you desperate when you joined Peter's band?
No, it was kind of the right place, right time.
Oh
yeah, just
yeah. I take the average age of the band doing quite a lot.
And the height.
And the height. Add a little bit of good looks to it, and it's fine.
Yeah, some good looks along the front. As you're about to see it in the next video, this is the band. This was us live on stage at a charity concert, I think it was, in the Garrison Theatre in Lerwick. And the theatre here, this is where the Young Fiddler used to be before it was at Murriel. I can mind going to the Garrison to see it.
Yeah.
So this is a wee set of reels. So yeah, David Bothwell saying Robert Whitehead, brilliant band, absolutely.
Yep,
and Robert had a thing on not long ago saying, by the way, don't believe the rumour. Somebody had started a rumour that he wasn't wanting to travel to gigs or something silly, and it's just all rubbish.
So
so please don't think Robert Whitehead winning. Robert will still go anywhere to play for you folks. So just give him a shout.
I don't think I've ever travelled with a band as much as I have with Robert.
No, it's just
Friday night would be in Liverpool, Saturday would be back home, and then Saturday would be in London or something. Just mileage is mental.
That's one thing we didn't. We can't do much mileage up here in Shetland. There's not just that far to go. Is there?
Actually, Peter, that's actually spoiled me because yesterday I drove for the gig down to Edinburgh. I drove from Aberdeen to Airdrie to Edinburgh, did the gig, and then back to Airdrie, dropped the PA off, and then back to Aberdeen. So it was like 4 o'clock this morning. I can't drive long distances now. It's just crazy. Spoiled me up here.
Here's a wee set of reels for us bunch in the Garrison Theatre, and I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah.
Did you see Andy's horse in that video there?
I knew that was going to go up.
That was Andy's horse there. That wasn't a Shetland pony, by the way. That was about 12 feet tall, that horse.
Oh, boys.
No, great fun. We have great fun out playing with the band. It's really good. And
We do.
we work with the guitar as well, just to get a different sound going, to be honest. So,
Yeah, it's good fun.
As we mentioned earlier on, your background is classical, and you sent us I'm assuming it must be a school's video.
Oh, with the Bairns, yeah. It's sorry, there you go.
No, carry on.
It's a school's festival competition up here.
Okay.
And I think that one must be. Oh, this must have been one of the first ones that I think did. Maybe about 4 years ago, I think, this video.
yeah, well, there's not been a festival for 3 years now.
Yeah. True enough. I think this is about 4-year-old, I think, this video.
Yeah.
So
what is this piece?
It was 2 pieces. Now, if I remember rightly, the first one was the William Tell Overture.
Yeah.
And the second one was I want to say the Ride of the Valkyries.
Nope.
Wrong. No, you have to help me then.
I'm trying to remember what it's called.
I should have been more organised and looked these up.
Bear Mountain?
Yes. Is that it?
Yeah.
Possibly.
We'll let you off, Andy, since you didn't get into 4 in the morning.
That was it. But no, this was really good because, again, working through high level music for the school special, we pull all the instructors together, and so rather than just having fiddles, we had guitars, we had accordions, we had wind, we had percussion, and we also had the choir. Suzanne's Bairns in. So, and it was just, and I was kind of conducting it as well. So it gives the Bairns, rather than just standing playing alongside them all the time, it gives them that extra kind of bit, just for playing in group situations as an orchestra.
And I think it's really it's really good for them to get a chance to play with other instruments as well, to hear that sound and hear what you can arrange. And things. And I was just quickly floating back to the last video there. We couldn't see Graham behind you, really, but Graham was on the drums there, Graham Jameson, in that last video.
Yeah.
And last night you weren't there, so Graham had to.
That's the one. Yep.
Graham had to have your share of the drinks in the band last night, I'm afraid.
Oh, did he? Yeah. Mix it up, juice.
But he done it. He took one for the team, So, anyway, we're going to have a wee listen to this. This is the Shetland Schools Music Festival.
Yep.
I was hoping it would be on this year again, but it's not. So it'll be next year, I'm sure.
This was good fun.
It's a great thing for the kids to get out and play. It's great. So this is non-Scottish.
I was going to say the choir's fantastic, by the way.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Brilliant.
Sung their wee heart out.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yes, guys.
Would you like a history? Would you like a history lesson?
Go on.
So, folk might not know that William Tell overtures played by pipe bands all over the world. Well, part of it is because the tune, "The Green Hills of Tyrol," it's actually from William Tell by Rossini.
All right.
Really?
Written in 1829. It includes La Tua Danza Sileghera. And in 1854, Pipe Major MacLeod of what became the Argyll and Southern Highlanders heard it in Sardinia by a military band. Brought it back as a pipe tune, and then it became a Scottish soldier. And that's why it's Tyrol. Tyrol has nothing to do with Scotland. Tyrol is the other name for the William Tell, so it's Tell of the Tyrol. There you go.
Well, blow me down.
Look at that.
There you go.
Gee, what's that?
Okay, you clap for that one.
When it comes to facts, that was a cracker, Davey.
That was.
It's not bad at all.
No, that was good fun.
So technically, it's trad music.
There you go. That was good fun doing that with the Burns, and they really enjoyed it. I mean, the average age there was about maybe 13, 14. But just the maturity of the playing is just
that's great.
Super right.
Do you find that if they're playing stuff they want to play, they play it better?
Yeah. If you get something like that, there's so many different. I mean, like the Kerry Muir set. There's so much stuff going on.
Yeah.
And it just it G's them up just to just go that extra wee kind of step. And it's same with that. I mean, we had so much fun with the choir because trying to get the balance. Obviously, they don't get a run through in the actual venue, so we're doing it in halls here, and the acoustics was just it was ringing just all over the place. And so trying to get the balance, and then going into the real stage and doing it there, where it's a bit kind of it's a much flatter sound, and keeping the balance with everybody right, and they just loved it. So it's like getting the choir to sing louder on the fiddles, getting the fiddles to play louder on the choir, and this, that, and the next thing. It was really good fun. Really good fun.
Yeah, right.
Well,
I really enjoyed it.
Yourself, and I think when you see yourself, you're very enthusiastic there at the front as well, and doing it in style. But that's really important. That's important to youngsters. If you're standing at the front looking bored, they're not going to play very well, are they? I mean,
that's it.
Is there a Shetland Strathspey Society?
No.
Well,
there's the Shetland Fiddlers Society.
Fiddlers.
I suppose that's the closest we've got to a Strathspey Real Society.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Same idea. Same kind of idea. But not so much as there's a Dundee one, isn't there? There is a Dundee one.
There is one. It's actually Scott Band is in charge.
Oh yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
Still.
When we're down at Orkney at the folk festival, we're playing as special guests at the Strathspey Real Society concert.
Yes.
Yeah.
We joined. Did we not join them the last time we were there?
We ended up
doing the whole thing. We sat in with the orchestra.
we done our spot and then slinked up into the orchestra and got a seat and gate crashed.
That's right. Sat and played for the rest of the concert.
There was one tune that I'd never seen in my life before that I was beginning to wish I hadn't gate crashed.
It's awkward. What's awkward is you're starting, you play the way you're like, I recognise this. I'm not sure why. And it's one of your own tunes.
Yeah. So no, looking forward to getting out and about again with the various festivals, and that'd be good.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a thing to get away with. It's hard work.
Yeah.
Well, it's even just getting the interaction with the audience is hard work. As I think was it last week? I think Peter said that they had a gig where it was a brilliant audience and they were up for it, and then the next night it was
every night's
not as up for it, and you're like you had to kind of work harder to get them to dance.
It's the same. It's what you're doing. I mean, it's like, I mean, if you're playing at weddings and stuff like that, I mean, especially down south, if you need to call the dances and that, some you just say them and they're up in the flare the next thing.
Yeah.
You kind of drag them up and
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but
And there's this really peculiar thing happens that the gig that you're really, really looking forward to quite often ends up being the disappointing one. And the one that you think, oh, that's going to be murder, can end up being a
to be the
brilliant
best one. Yeah,
don't
that's
know
it.
what's going to happen. It's just,
That's it.
but listen, Andy, thank you so
Thanks.
much for coming on tonight. And,
No problem, guys. Thank you for asking me.
And I think now you can get away home and get to your bed.
That's a good plan.
You'll just be in time for the two wee ones to be ready to get up.
That probably.
So listen, thanks so much for coming on. I've got a wee set of tunes that were recorded here. There was 2 jigs in a reel. Can you mind the names?
The first one was The Gunmaker. I think the second one was The Bathroom Shelf by Jim McDonald.
Yeah.
And the last one was Miss Shepherd.
Listen, thank you so much. And folks, if you need fiddle lessons, there's Andy is the man to get in touch with, because you do online stuff now as well, don't you?
I do, yeah. I've got a couple of pupils that I do online. One's in New York.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good. Fine.
Brilliant. Frida is asking Andy, do you write any tunes yourself? Yes, he does, Frida.
I have done a few, yeah.
One of Andy's slow airs is on our last album, the Stepping Up album, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, listen, thanks very much. We're looking forward to seeing you too, bye. It'll be great. Right, here is Andy with 2 jigs and a reel. Thanks, Andy.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Yeah, great tunes. Really nice try. Brilliant having Andy on the show. Andy's an absolutely top-notch guy, actually. He'd do absolutely anything to help you at all, and he's just really, really great guy. And so successful, especially in his church, and a lot of his pupils that come through are doing very, very well and enjoy playing music, which is huge
You
party.
could say that Andy is a scarecrow.
Come on then.
Outstanding in his field.
Outstanding in his field. I like it. Okay, right.
No, okay.
No, he does. He's doing really absolutely brilliant up here, and there's a lot of people got a lot of respect for him. So it's magic.
It's been grand.
Including us, we respect him as well on the band, even though the band doesn't always show that, but we do. So anyway, what I was going to say was I've actually got one other wee set that we can play the night as a wee Gay Gardens to finish off with. But before that, can we just say to folks, remember the tune auction that we've got going. If you can jump onto the Tartan Tunes Facebook page, you'll see the tune auction. We've got 7 tunes up for auction. All the funds going to charity, to the neonatal unit at Nine Wells Hospital, where Davy's wee lass was until, what was it, about 11 weeks?
53 days.
Or something like that, 53 days.
Sorry.
So we thought it was nice to give something back to the folks for helping there. And now Amy's at home keeping him awake. So that's what happens.
I don't think I'm allowed to go. I don't think I'm allowed to go to Vi's gig now.
She said, "Don't go home your day job." I thought that was quite a funny joke as well.
I thought it was quite good as well. Yeah, I did think it was quite good.
I thought, oh, thanks, David. A wee bit of piano playing for me for a change. Yeah. Right. Here's a wee set. We'll play this, and then we'll come back and tell you who next week's guests are, and then we'll go. So here's the Nut Brown Maiden. These are all sing-alongs. You'll know these ones. The Nut Brown Maiden, The Lights of Loch Doll, Killie Cranky, and Kirkwall Bay. Kirkwall Bay, my bonny Kirkwall Bay. Beer bottles floating on the shore. No, that's a different version, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. So, yeah, enjoy a wee Gay Gardens, and then we'll come back and we'll tell you who we've got as guests next week. Cool. Now then. That is quite a tie there, because that last tune, Kit will be, when we go to introduce our guests for next week, both of them, there's Joe Nicholson saying beautiful, and Joe, you're going to like next week. It's like an Orkney week next week, because we have Aidan Moody, and he's Orkney originally as well, isn't he?
Yep.
And we've got Jennifer Wrigley from the Wrigley Sisters with the fiddle. So
who was judging the Shetland Young Fiddle last year?
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. So really looking forward to this. It's going to be great fun. So we've got Aidan Moody and Jennifer Wrigley on next Sunday night, so it'll be a nice wee show. So I'm looking forward to that. Have you got anything else you want to tell everybody?
I don't think so.
No. Well, cool. Just a huge thanks to Andy Kain for coming on again. That's been a lovely wee show.
Mm-hmm.
And a huge thanks to all you folks out there for sticking with us right through.
Yep. We might have this format again at some point with a single guest and just kind of chat away.
I think it's good, because then we're not rushing just quite so much.
Yeah.
Sometimes, and we can.
Yeah. See how it goes.
Joe Nicholson says, well, he'll be all ears next week as well.
There we go. More Arcadians.
No Arcadians. Let's do Arcadians. Right. Thank you very much, folks. Take care. I'm away to get a cup of tea.
Are you going to watch the highlights of the game from yesterday now?
I watched the game yesterday, so.
You want to watch the highlights again now? There
was this team called Heart and Midlothian that done very, very well. And there was another bunch of chaps in green. They done well as well. They were good in the second half, but nah.
Celtic?
No, not them. No, I know Edinburgh bunch. A bunch of chaps from Edinburgh. Very, very good. Bunch of chaps. They played decent enough football, and so that's cool.
And on that note,
I'm away to eat an Easter egg.
You'll turn into an Easter egg.
Right. See you, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much again. Take care. Thanks to Andy Kain. See you soon. Bye, David.